The morning started like any other. The sun peeked through the curtains, casting a warm glow over the room. I stretched lazily, still wrapped in the comfort of sleep, when the shrill sound of my phone jolted me awake. I glanced at the screen, and my heart sank. Sarah's name blinked back at me, vibrating with urgency. Why was she calling me so early? Maybe she just wants to chat, I thought, trying to shake off the unease. But deep down, a storm brewed, sending shivers down my spine. I answered, "Hey, Sarah, what's up?" "Can we meet? It's important," she said, her voice trembling. "Sure. Is everything okay?" I asked, my mind racing with possibilities. "Just come to the cafe, please." The cafe, our favorite place. I could almost hear the laughter echoing in my mind, the warm pastries, the coffee, and the dreams we shared. But today, that place felt heavy with foreboding. I hung up, a knot tightening in my stomach. As I drove, I replayed memories in my head. Jason and I sharing our hopes for the future, Sarah dreaming of her perfect life. Those moments felt tainted, like a beautiful painting smudged with dark colors. What could she possibly want to tell me? When I arrived at the cafe, Sarah was already there, her hands shaking around a coffee cup. I took a seat across from her, searching her eyes for answers. "You look pale. What's wrong?" She took a deep breath, and I could see the struggle in her face. "It's about Jason," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. My heart raced. "What do you mean?" Tears filled her eyes and my stomach dropped. He's been seeing someone else." The words hung in the air, heavy and suffocating. I felt the ground shift beneath me as disbelief washed over me. "What? No, that can't be true." "I wish it wasn't," she choked out. "I found out last week. I didn't want to tell you, but you deserve to know." A whirlwind of emotions crashed over me, anger, sadness, betrayal. "How could he do this to me? To us?" I spat, my voice trembling with rage. "I don't know," she replied, tears streaming down her cheeks. "I just found out." I felt like the world around me had shattered. Jason, my husband, the one I trusted completely, had turned my life into a chaotic mess. And Sarah, my best friend, had been the one to deliver the news. The laughter we once shared now felt like a cruel joke. I stared at my coffee, now cold and uninviting. "I can't believe this," I muttered, trying to process the betrayal. I thought of all the moments we had shared, the dreams we had built together. They all felt like a lie. "Maybe you should confront him," Sarah suggested, her voice shaky. "Revenge won't heal this," I thought, battling the turmoil inside me. But the thought of facing Jason made my heart race. What do I even say? "Hey, I know you've been cheating on me." Silence fell between us. I could feel the weight of the world pressing down on me, suffocating me. I didn't want to believe it. I wanted to cling to the illusion of the perfect life I thought I had. But as I looked into Sarah's eyes, I realized I was standing at a crossroads. Should I confront Jason? Would it only lead to more pain? My mind was a whirlwind of confusion and anger, and I felt lost. "Do you think he loves her?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. "I don't know," Sarah replied, her gaze dropping. "But you deserve to know the truth." The truth. It felt like a double-edged sword. I wanted the truth, but at what cost? Would confronting Jason lead to healing, or would it just deepen the wound? I took a deep breath, the reality crashing down on me. This wasn't just about Jason and Sarah. It was about me finding my strength amidst the betrayal. I squeezed my eyes shut, trying to gather my thoughts, but the questions kept swirling. What would I do next? How could I navigate this dark path ahead? I felt a flicker of determination ignite within me. I had to uncover the truth. I had to face the betrayal head-on, no matter how painful it might be. As I sat in my favorite chair, the morning sun spilling through the window, my mind drifted back to moments I once cherished. I closed my eyes and saw Jason's smile, the way it lit up his face when he laughed. We were in the park that day, sharing a picnic with Sarah, who sat across from us, her laughter blending with the gentle rustling of leaves. Those memories felt like a warm blanket, but now they left me shivering with doubt. "Can you believe we actually thought we would last forever?" I mumbled to myself, the bitterness creeping into my voice. I shook my head, trying to rid myself of the painful images, but they clung to me like shadows. I remembered the way Jason and Sarah had looked at each other, their eyes sparkling with something I never thought I'd have to question. Suddenly, my phone buzzed, jolting me from my thoughts. I glanced at the screen, my heart racing when I saw Sarah's name. What could she possibly want? I hesitated, fingers hovering over the screen. The anger bubbled up inside me, but I took a deep breath and let it go. I needed to think clearly. I remembered the day Jason surprised me with a weekend getaway. "You deserve this," he had said, wrapping his arms around me. "We need to celebrate us." But now those sweet words felt like poison. I clenched my fists, anger turning into determination. I had to find out the truth. I picked up my phone, scrolling through our messages. Every sweet text was a reminder of the bond I thought we had. "I love you," he had texted me just last week, but now those words rang hollow. "I can't believe I was so blind," I whispered to myself, a lump forming in my throat. The memories kept flooding my mind, the laughter we shared at our favorite cafe, the plans we made for the future, and the dreams that now felt shattered. "Why Jason? Why Sarah?" I asked the empty room, hoping for some answer that would never come. The betrayal cut deep, leaving me feeling raw and exposed. Maybe I should confront her, I thought, but a wave of doubt washed over me. What if it only led to more pain? I imagined Sarah's face, the confusion in her eyes when I asked her about Jason. What if she denies everything? I whispered, frustration bubbling up inside me. I didn't want to create more chaos, but I needed to know the truth. As I paced the room, I recalled our last dinner together. "We're a team, right?" Jason had said, raising his glass. "Always." The memory twisted the knife deeper into my heart. I felt torn between confronting Sarah and protecting myself from more hurt. My phone buzzed again, breaking my reverie. This time, it was Jason. "Can we talk?" I read, my heart racing. Talk? He wanted to talk after everything? I wanted to scream, to tell him how betrayed I felt. "Talk about what?" I typed back, my fingers shaking. The response came quickly. "I just need you to understand." Understand? How could I ever understand this? I tossed my phone onto the couch, frustration pouring out of me. "What is there to understand?" I shouted, the sound echoing in the silence of the room. I took a moment to breathe, feeling my heart pound in my chest. A sense of determination surged within me. I decided I would find out everything. I had to uncover the truth behind their betrayal, no matter how much it hurt. The thought of confronting Sarah was daunting, but I couldn't let fear hold me back. "I deserve answers," I said aloud, my voice steadying. This was my life, my heart, and I would take control. As I stood there, the memories of laughter and love began to transform into a new fire within me. It was time to unravel the truth, to face the pain head on. I would no longer be a victim of their deception. I would find my strength. The rain poured down that night, casting a curtain of shadows around me. Each drop against the window echoed my heartbeat, quickening with the weight of what I was about to do. I stood in our dimly lit living room, nervously twisting a strand of hair around my finger. My mind raced with thoughts of Jason and Sarah. I took a deep breath, bracing myself for the confrontation I had been dreading and anticipating all at once. As I heard him come in, the door creaked open, and the scent of rain mixed with his cologne hit me, I could see him shaking off the water from his jacket, blissfully unaware of the storm brewing inside me. I needed to make my voice steady, to show him that I was in control. "Jason," I said, my voice surprisingly calm. He turned to me, confusion flickering across his face. "Hey, what's wrong? You look serious." "I am serious," I replied, my heart pounding louder than the rain. "We need to talk." His brow furrowed and he took a step closer. "Is this about the trip? I told you I would—" "No," I cut him off, feeling the anger rise. "It's about you and Sarah." His face went pale, and for a moment I reveled in the shock that washed over him. It was a bittersweet satisfaction, knowing he couldn't hide from the truth anymore. "What do you mean?" he stammered, his voice shaky. "I know about the affair," I said, each word striking like thunder. "I know everything." He opened his mouth, but no words came out. I watched his expression shift from shock to panic, and I felt a mix of emotions swirl within me: sadness, rage, and a strange sense of empowerment. "Please, let me explain," he finally said, his voice low and desperate. "Explain what?" I asked, crossing my arms. "How you could betray me? How you could betray our friendship with Sarah? There's nothing you can say that will change what you've done." "I never meant for it to happen," he said, his eyes pleading. "It was a mistake. I love you, and I—" "Love?" I interrupted, my voice rising. "You call this love? You shattered my trust, Jason. You and Sarah were supposed to be my safe haven. Instead, you both have turned my world upside down." I felt my anger boiling over, and I took a step back to gather my thoughts. Memories flooded my mind, the laughter we shared, the plans we made, and the dreams I thought we were building together. It felt like a cruel joke, a twisted betrayal wrapped in a facade of love. "Can't you see that it's not just about you?" I continued. "You didn't just hurt me, you hurt Sarah too. What about our friendship? What about everything we built together?" He took a deep breath, his features softening. "I know I messed up. I never wanted to hurt you. I thought I could handle it. I thought it wouldn't matter." "It matters!" I shouted, the rage spilling over. "You lied. You took my trust and threw it away. You took my heart and trampled on it. How could you think that wouldn't matter?" The silence hung heavy between us, broken only by the sound of rain pelting against the windows. I could see the regret in his eyes, but it did little to soothe the storm inside me. I wanted to feel angry, to scream, but more than that, I wanted to take control of my life again. "Jason," I said, my voice quieter now but firm. "This isn't just about you. I need to figure out what I want, what's best for me. What we had, it's over." His face fell, and I could see the realization sinking in. "Please don't say that. I can change. I'll do anything." I shook my head slowly. "You had your chance. I deserve better than this." The confrontation had stirred up a whirlwind of emotions within me, and as I stood there, I realized I was no longer the same person I was before. The battle between love and betrayal raged on, but I felt a spark of determination igniting within me. I would find my way through this storm. I would reclaim my life. After the confrontation, I stood in the middle of our living room, feeling the weight of betrayal pressing down on my chest. The silence was deafening, and memories of laughter and love felt like ghosts in the air. I could still hear Jason's voice, trying to explain himself, but all I felt was a hollow ache. It was hard to breathe, hard to think. I looked around the room, the place where we once shared so many happy moments, now tainted by his dishonesty. I sank into the couch, feeling lost. How could he do this to me? How could Sarah, my best friend, betray me like this? I thought I knew them both so well. The trust I had built with them was shattered, and I had no idea how to pick up the pieces. My heart raced as I replayed the awful moment over and over in my mind. Why? I whispered to myself, tears welling in my eyes. Suddenly, a thought struck me. Revenge. A part of me wanted to lash out, to make them feel the pain they had caused me. But deep down, I knew that revenge would only lead to more heartache. I didn't want to be the person who stooped to their level. I wanted to rise above this. I took a deep breath, trying to calm the storm inside my head. I can't let them win, I murmured, finding a flicker of determination within me. I thought about the people in my life, the friends and family who cared about me. They deserved to know the truth. Keeping Jason's betrayal a secret would only make me feel more trapped. I needed to break free from this emotional prison. A sense of liberation washed over me as I imagined telling my loved ones what had happened. I have to do this, I said aloud, my voice steadying. Later that evening, I sat down with my phone, my heart racing. I opened a group chat with my closest friends. My fingers hovered over the screen. What would I even say? I took another deep breath and began to type. Hey everyone, I need to share something important. I just found out that Jason has been unfaithful to me with Sarah. I hit send, my heart pounding. The seconds felt like hours as I waited for their responses. OMG, are you serious? Replied Mia, my best friend since childhood. I can't believe this. I'm so sorry, girl. We're here for you, added Lisa, another close friend. Each response made my heart feel a little lighter. It felt good to share my burden, to let others in on my pain. I realized this was the first step toward regaining my power. I was no longer going to hide in the shadows of their betrayal. I was taking control of my own story. As the evening wore on, I received messages from my friends offering support and love. They wanted to meet up, to be there for me. I smiled through my tears, grateful for their kindness. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it, I replied, feeling a sense of warmth envelop me. The next day, I decided to take another step. I called my sister, hoping she could provide some comfort. Hey, can we talk? I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. Of course, what's going on? She replied, concern evident in her tone. I took a deep breath, my heart racing. It's about Jason. He cheated on me. With Sarah. There was a pause on the other end, and I could hear her sharp intake of breath. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? She asked, her voice filled with compassion. I'm starting to be. I just felt like I needed to tell you. I'm going to tell Mom and Dad next, I said, feeling a strange mix of fear and relief. I'll be there for you. You don't have to go through this alone, she assured me, and I felt a flood of gratitude wash over me. As I hung up the phone, I felt lighter. Each conversation, each moment of sharing was like a weight lifting off my shoulders. I realized that my journey was not just about revenge. It was about reclaiming my self-respect and autonomy. I was no longer defined by their betrayal. I was ready to stand tall and face whatever came next. In that moment, I felt empowered. I was no longer a victim. I was a survivor, and I was ready to take the next step forward, whatever that might be. As the dust of my confrontation settled, I found myself standing on the edge of a new beginning. The weight of betrayal still lingered in my heart, but I could feel a flicker of hope igniting within me. I took a deep breath, determined to embark on a journey of healing. This is my time, I whispered to myself, the words echoing in the quiet of my empty home. I started to fill my days with activities that brought me joy. I dusted off my old guitar, the one that had long sat untouched in the corner of the living room. As I strummed the strings, the familiar sound warmed my heart. Music had always been my escape, and I realized it was time to reconnect with that part of myself. One afternoon, I decided to visit that cafe where Jason and Sarah had shared so many laughs. I hesitated outside, memories flooding back. I could almost hear their laughter ringing in my ears. But instead of pain, I felt a sense of closure. I pushed the door open and stepped inside. The barista smiled warmly at me. "Back for your usual?" she asked. "Actually, I think I'll try something new today," I replied, surprising myself with my own words. I ordered a chai latte and settled into a cozy corner. As I sipped my drink, I opened a notebook and began to write. I poured out my feelings, my hopes, and my dreams. Each word felt like a step towards reclaiming my identity. Later that week, I met my friend Mia for lunch. As we sat at a small table in the sunlit restaurant, I shared the changes I was making in my life. "I've decided to focus on myself for a while," I told her, feeling a mix of excitement and nervousness. Mia looked at me with encouragement in her eyes. "That sounds amazing. You deserve it. What do you want to do first?" "I want to take a painting class. I used to love painting," I said, a smile creeping onto my face. "Let's do it together." "It'll be fun," she suggested, her enthusiasm infectious. I nodded, grateful for her support. "I'd love that." As the weeks passed, I began to find joy in the little things. I started painting again, letting the colors and brush strokes express the emotions I struggled to articulate. Each painting reflected a piece of my journey. One day, while I was lost in my art, I suddenly paused and thought, "This is healing. This is me." One evening, I met with a group of women from a local support group. We sat in a circle, sharing our stories. I listened as each woman spoke of her own struggles and triumphs. It felt good to be surrounded by people who understood my pain. "How do you move forward after betrayal?" one woman asked, her voice trembling. I took a deep breath, feeling the weight of her question. "I think it's about finding yourself again. It's hard, but we can't let their actions define who we are," I replied, feeling a sense of empowerment. The group nodded in agreement, and I could see the flicker of hope in their eyes. We talked late into the night, sharing laughter and tears. In that moment, I realized that true healing comes from connection and support. As I continued my journey, I felt the pain of betrayal transforming into strength. Each day was a step toward self-love and resilience. I started to prioritize my own happiness, understanding that it was okay to put myself first. One afternoon, as I painted in my studio, I looked at my latest creation, a vibrant landscape that reflected my newfound freedom. I smiled, knowing that I was becoming stronger with each stroke of the brush. "I'm reclaiming my life," I said aloud, feeling proud of my progress. The realization settled in my heart. True justice lies not in revenge, but in the love I show myself. With each passing day, the shadows of my past began to fade. I felt lighter, ready to embrace the future. I knew that healing would take time, but I was on the right path. And for the first time in a long while, I felt a sense of peace within myself. Time has a way of healing wounds, or at least it helps us learn to live with them. As I sit on my balcony, sipping coffee and watching the sun rise, I feel a sense of peace I thought was lost forever. The colors of dawn paint the sky in soft pinks and oranges, a beautiful reminder that life continues, even after betrayal. I think about how far I have come since that dark day when I discovered Jason's affair. It feels like a lifetime ago. I remember the tears, the anger, and the heartbreak, but those feelings are not as sharp now. They have dulled into something different, something that feels like strength. I have learned to embrace my new reality. "Hey, are you up there?" I hear a voice call from below. It's Mia, my new friend and neighbor. We met just a few weeks ago at a yoga class. She has a bright smile and a warm energy that draws people in. "Yeah, I'm here," I shout back, feeling a rush of excitement. I have made it a point to surround myself with people who lift me up rather than drag me down. It feels good to have friends who support me. Mia climbs the stairs to my balcony, her hair bouncing with each step. "I brought bagels and coffee too," she says, holding up a colorful bag. The smell wafts through the air, making my stomach growl. Perfect, I reply, smiling. Just what I needed this morning. As we sit together, enjoying the warm bagels and hot coffee, I feel a sense of normalcy returning to my life. You know, I used to think I needed to be in a relationship to be happy, I tell Mia. But now, I see that I can find joy in my own company and in friendships. Mia nods, her eyes sparkling. That's so true. It's all about finding what makes you happy, right? And you've got to love yourself first. I take a deep breath, absorbing her words. I've learned that the scars of my past are part of me, but they don't define who I am. I am stronger than I ever thought I could be. Absolutely, Mia exclaims, raising her coffee cup for a toast. Here's to new beginnings and embracing our true selves. Cheers to that. I clink my cup against hers, a smile spreading across my face. In this moment, I feel free. Free from the weight of betrayal, free from the chains of my past. Later, as we finish our breakfast, I remember the celebration I have planned for this weekend. I invited a few friends to commemorate my journey and my newfound independence. It feels like a small but important step towards embracing my future. Are you coming to the party on Saturday? I ask Mia. Of course, she replies enthusiastically. I wouldn't miss it. It's time to celebrate you. As the day goes on, I prepare for the party, filling my home with laughter, good food, and friends who understand my journey. I hang strings of lights that twinkle like stars, creating a warm and inviting atmosphere. When the night finally arrives, I stand in the center of my living room, surrounded by the people I care about. Each face reflects joy and support, and my heart swells with gratitude. Thank you all for being here, I say, my voice steady but filled with emotion. This past year has been tough, but I am finally ready to embrace a new dawn. This is a celebration of new beginnings. The crowd cheers, and I feel a rush of warmth. I let their encouragement wash over me, reminding me that I am not alone. As the night goes on, we share stories, laughter, and even tears, but they are different. These tears come from a place of healing, not pain. As I look around at my friends, I realize that I have rebuilt my life, piece by piece. Each connection, each laugh, and each moment shared adds to the tapestry of my new beginning. The scars remain, but they are now symbols of my strength and resilience. I step outside for a moment to catch my breath. The stars shine brightly in the night sky, and I feel a sense of hope. I am ready, I whisper to myself. Ready to embrace the future, ready to welcome whatever comes next. I know that I am stronger than I once believed, and that is a beautiful feeling. Share this story if you believe that healing and friendship can light the way through even the darkest times. Leave a comment about how a new connection has transformed your life and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring stories like this one.